what is your target audience like looking for? What are they like? What is their desire to consume your content? Like, what is it about it?
Well, a lot of people, so I was mainly doing travel, and then I realized there was like this connection between lack of travel and lack of self-love and self-care. So, yeah, there are people who don't really take care of themselves enough and really don't do the thing that they desire and don't think it's really possible. So I'm just trying to make it more accessible. Like, you know, I put up a lot of posts about like really cheap travel. Like, it's not a lot of money. Like, you could save this money by giving up Starbucks for a month. Like, you can go to a lot of places. So yeah, I teach a lot of like.
There's a lot of, and I think there's a lot of stuff, like especially for women of color. You know, I have a special place in my heart for women of color, and again, my audience is mainly women and a lot of women of color. My biggest supporters and my biggest detractors are women of color. But it's always, the story's very similar. So my mother had 10 children, and I talked to her about this. I'm going to do an interview with my mom in September. She had 10 kids, single mom, raises a strong woman. And we were talking like a month ago, and we were just talking, and she started crying because she always felt like she wasn't a good mother. And again, my mother had me at 13. I'm the eldest of 10. My mother had me at 13. And she never had an opportunity to be a kid. She never had an opportunity to be a traveler or a poet so she always was a mom. And my youngest brother, he just turned 20. So again, my mother most of her life, she's been a mother. She's looked out for us. And her story's not uncommon amongst women of color, especially when you start to factor in places like the African continent or South America and Central America, where women become mothers at 13, 14, 15. That's the norm.
Yeah.
And their entire life, they're mothers. They're raising us. So she felt like that she was kind of a failure as a mom, and it frustrated me because for the first time, I saw my mother not as my mother, but as a Black woman, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
This was the first time that I saw her as a vulnerable woman. And I'm like, whoa, wait, you're my mom. I need you to, because my mother was always very strong. She was always an extremely strong, borderline scary person. And a lot of my strength, a lot of my characteristics, I don't take shit from anybody. I got that from my mother. So, to see her that vulnerable, it sparked like, oh, okay, this is what women of color are constantly dealing with. Like this show of strength, but behind that show is this vulnerability, this pain. And when you say, so I decided I'm taking my mother to Paris and London next year. Oh my God, I got a car. I'm taking my mom to Paris and London in September of next year. It's only because of this, to give her this opportunity to see the world and what she's done. Like my mother, at the very foundation, at the core of who I am, it's my mother. I'm her at the very foundation. My father passed away in December, and a lot of my characteristics, like my negative characteristics, come from him. But everything that I hold as positive came from her. And I think more women of color, I hope, realize how amazing they are, how strong they are for dealing with this shit. Dealing with us as Black men, we are ridiculous. Like the stuff that y'all have to deal with us alone is inspiring. Not only putting up with the crap you have to do in society. So even if these women can't go to Turkey or Egypt or Jamaica, they can rent a hotel room in whatever city that they're in for 2 days and just stay there and go to a spa.
That is what I just said.
It really is. People don't, because this is my issue with the Black travel movement. And this is a blanket statement. I know somebody might say, but there's a lot of travel shaming. A lot of travel shaming in places like the Nomadic Travel Tribe, where people are talking about passport stamps and, oh, you aren't really a traveler if you didn't do this. And forget all that you travel within your means. You travel wherever you want to travel, and you travel to make yourself better, to smile, to make yourself happy. Be damn what everybody else is doing. If you want to go to Kyrgyzstan, go to Kyrgyzstan. Because your experience is your experience and your life is your life. You can't afford it, take a weekend. Take 2 days to go stay at the JW Marriott and go to their spot and just eat cheese all day if you want to. But it's taking those times to for yourself, to cry maybe, to spend 2 days just crying, to spend 2 days reading, spend 2 days relaxing. Like, a lot of people need that because in everyday life, so many people don't have that. So many people don't have that, and it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking when I go home and I see that.
Yeah. So your mom hasn't been out of the country at all yet?
No, she hasn't. She it's funny because I pick on my mother because I have a thing. If I'm flying over 12 hours, I'll pay for business class, or first class with my points. And my mother, I always try to get my grandmother because my grandmother's getting up there in age, and every year I used to send my grandmother on a trip to Vegas. And she's just getting up there, and she really doesn't want to travel as much as she used to. So now that my brother is 20 and basically out of the house, my mother doesn't have anything to do. And it's driving her crazy, and I can see it. She's not a mom anymore, like as in a day-to-day mom. So she's going crazy. And it was like, we were talking and she was upset about something. I think she was upset with my grandmother about something. We were just talking, and I had this idea, and I told her, I was like, hey, I've got an idea. I don't know how you feel about it. I know you've never been out of the country, so what I want to do is I want to take you to Paris and London. And she was like, on an airplane? I was like, yeah. She goes, you gonna fly me business class? I was like, yeah, I'll business class. So, all right, let me know when we going. I'm getting my. I'm like, oh, what have I done? But it's going to be her first international trip. I specifically, I'm kind of designing the itinerary so she can go to a place where she doesn't speak the language. The culture is a little different, as in Paris. Something that's at least a little bit familiar to her from TV and movies and books. But also London, which is it's travel on training wheels as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. And just kind of give her 6 days just exploring. We'll take a train from Paris to London, let her experience that. So it's really this is what I do for a living. And at the very least I can do for my mom is give her a taste of it, because without her, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah, I just got my mom to get out of the country for the first time in May. Yeah. And she was like always looking at me traveling, and I'm like, you can do it too. But she was like so fearful. She was supposed to go with me several times to Italy, and she would back out at the last minute. But I finally got her on the plane this time. We went to Costa Rica in May.
Ooh, how'd it go?
It was good. I mean, she was freaking out, but then she was like, okay, it's not so bad. Not so bad. Yeah.
Costa Rica's amazing. Amazing. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, from like Boston or?
Worcester.
Oh, Worcester. Oh, nice.
You know
nice,
Worcester?
Nice. I do. Yeah. I do. So it's wow. So like, is your mom now like a traveler? Is she ready to go again or what?
Oh, she's like, before we even went to Costa Rica, she's like, where are we going next? And I'm like, can we finish this trip?
Oh, that's so great to hear. I love that because it really is infectious. It's such an infectious thing, And I hope my mother enjoys it. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do this for her every year to kind of let her see, because like my mom's young. My mother's not even 50 yet. Like my mom is young. So she's got plenty of time to take a trip once a year, every year, and I'm blessed to be able to afford it. So, why not? Why not make my siblings jealous a little bit? Because it's so much. The internet makes the world seem small, but it's very big. It's a very big place. And it's just in Europe. You can spend a lifetime exploring. Africa, you can spend a lifetime exploring. So it's. I'm so glad your mama had that experience. It's once you take the step, once the plane takes off, it's done. The hard part's over. Once the plane takes off, you're good.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to Canada next. So, and
Oh, nice.
that's been her dream for 38 years to go to Canada. So,
Where are you going in Canada?
Niagara Falls and Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. If you get a chance, go up to Banff National Park. It is amazing. BANFF. You gotta go up.
Oh, I've heard of that. Okay. Yeah.
It's probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. You gotta go up there. You have to go up there. So, oh, amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to get her to Italy next.
Yeah. Italy's an amazing place. Amazing.
Yeah. That is my favorite place in the world. My goal is to have a house there by the time I'm 40. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Italy is actually my most traveled country. I mean, it's like totally by accident. Like, didn't even plan it. Like, I've been to every major city and 17 smaller ones in Italy. Totally just by accident. You know, like, I love Italy. It's one of those. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's just a simple. Like, there's honestly like a lot. I don't find anything special about Italy. Anything like one thing that's oh my God, it's the most amazing thing ever. But it's a place where it's consistently great. The food, the people, the architecture, the history, the weather, like the diversity of the country is just consistently great. I was like, man, it's always a good experience here. Yeah. Even bad experiences are good experiences for me. It's great.
Yeah. I've had one bad experience in Italy, but it's still a very fascinating story. So.
What was it?
I thought I was gonna have to like fight this dude in the street, but I didn't know if he was trying to kidnap me or something. It was really. I decided to be adventurous in my last night in Florence and actually like do something I don't do, which is like go to the club. Like I'm not a club person, and they were having like ladies' night, and I was like, oh, I'll go. And then like the manager was like sitting with me the whole time. I'm like, don't you have other people to talk to? And he wanted me to go with him to some other place, and he was trying to grab me, and I was just like, I will F you up. Do not touch me. So I had to push him. I was just like, okay.
Oh, I swear, the things y'all do with it. Like, I get a lot of brothers push back on me. Like, it was like, yeah, I'm saying I'm caping for women. I'm like, look, man. Once you get out here, you see this stuff. I can't tell you how many times I've helped women get back to hostels because they were too drunk to walk. Like it is and to me, and again, I'm not a big social justice warrior kind of cat. I just believe in just human decency. And if you see somebody, man or woman, it doesn't matter, falling over drunk, you do whatever you can to help that person. Like you. Especially as a traveler. I'm like, look, man, we got to kind of look out for each other. Like, you got to do what you got to do to help people. And I'm saying, and again, a lot of women do. Look, sisters, any woman is listening to this, okay? Please stop getting blackout drunk when you travel. It is not a good look, and it's unsafe. Because I know them. I know these guys personally that prey on women who get trashed. Like, it is their move. It's their thing. I'm like, yo, you guys are something. Like, yo, like, oh man, the things y'all have to deal with as women. Always, I applaud you for exploring and being adventurous and being open and getting out there, because I don't know if I could do it if I knew all the dangers that you guys had to deal with.
I actually haven't had that bad of a time, aside from that. And I travel by myself all the time. And that was like one of my mom's major fears, because she's like, you're so tiny. People think you're a kid all the time. You're going to get kidnapped. And I was just like, I'm
99% is all good. 99% is all good. Yeah. It's just that extra. You know, it's like people are like, oh, I'm a big black guy. It's like, anybody ever mess with you? No. Because the stereotype of black men, it shields you a little bit. Yeah. Like, it's one of those times that negative stereotypes actually work in your favor. Like, big black guy, for nobody's really. People look for people like you, like smaller foreign females. Like, that's the number one target for thieves and people trying to commit assault. So it's really empathy. Again, it goes back to the empathy thing. Like, really is something that I think men really need to kind of take a look at. Yo, man, you gotta be just, at the very least, be vocal vocally empathetic to the plight of women when they travel.
Yeah. Oh, this has been a nice conversation. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, anytime you want to do it, it's interesting. I'll have a lot less time to do interviews like this within the next 1.5 to 2 years because I'm on the road.
Right.
But when I'm stationary or if I ever have like time stopping, I always take a little breaks and travel anyway. Hit me up anytime you need, anytime you want. I'll be glad to do this. Tell your viewers, anybody who's watching this, if you have any questions or comments or ideas, just hit me up. I'll always answer my emails or my PMs or my comments. Yeah, I'm everywhere. Yeah, anything you guys need, I'm here for you. Minority Nomad exists to help you guys.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you were like really quick responding to me. I was like, is he going to say yes? And I was like, yay.
I always say yes. It was funny. I did another interview with a brother on YouTube, a YouTuber named Solo, and he was like, "Yo, man, you'd be surprised like how many people don't respond back or they ask to be paid or all this stuff." And I'm like, "Yo, man, y'all my people. Like, I'll always show up for my people. Like that's why I do what I do. This is the exact reaction that I've always looked for. Is when people reach out to me and ask me for advice or my experience or my story, 100%. If I have the ability to do it, I'll always do it. You saw we had to move the schedule a little bit, kind of make it happen. But I can make it happen. I always will, 100%. Anybody who reaches out to me, you're going to get a response one way or the other.
Nice. I keep finding other things, but you mentioned TravelCon. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Oh, so TravelCon, I'm not a big travel conference guy, travel blogging kind of conference dude. Like, I've kind of boycotted them all because I thought they all were terrible. But TravelCon is put together by, are you familiar with Nomadic Matt?
No.
So Nomadic Matt is probably the first real, like, backpack blogger, travel blogger. He was one of the OGs. And he put it together. And the thing about Nomadic Matt is Matt knows everybody. Everybody. He knows all of us. And the travel blogging community is extremely small. And like he ran up on me in Chicago. We were both speaking at a conference in Chicago. He ran up on me. He was talking to me about his conference speaking at TravelCon. And I didn't think anything of it when we were talking about it. And sure as shit, he put this thing together in Austin, Texas. And it has some of the best in the game. Myself, humble brag, myself, Omega the Traveler, Ernest White II, who I think is probably the best Black travel writer in the world right now. It's Dave and Deb from Planet D. It's Nomadic Matt. It's Gloria Tamo from the Blog Abroad. I mean, the roster that he's put together for this conference is excellent. And not only are they doing people, come to Austin and meet us and hear us speak. Like I'm doing a photo walk, actually. I'm teaching people how to photograph any city. And Onika's doing a keynote. So we have that in Austin. But they're also doing a digital version for people who can't make it. So you'll be able to see all of the speeches and the talks and the workshops right there on their website. So TravelCon in Austin, that is September, I want to say 19, 20, 21, I believe. That weekend. It's going to be that weekend. It's like a 3-day conference, TravelCon.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, guys, you would never hear me advocating for any other conference. This is the very first one I've advocated for, and I've probably been invited to 20 of them, and this is the first one I accepted an invitation to.
Right.
That's how impressed I am with the roster they've put together.
So you said you're going to be in the U.S. for 11 days.
Yeah, I'm doing so I'll be in Austin. I get to Austin September 14th, and I'm in Austin until the 22nd, and then I fly to Cleveland to go see my mother, go see my mom and grandmother, do a little family trip. I'm there for 3 days, and then I literally fly to Austin to catch my flight back to London.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I get back to London, actually 15 days. So I arrive on the 14th, I leave on the 29th.
Okay.
So I'll be in Trump land for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited and apprehensive about it. Like whenever I go back to the U.S., reverse culture shock is very real. very real for me. But I miss the food so much. I miss simple things like hot wings and burgers and barbecue and collard greens and macaroni and cheese and just simple soul. I miss stuff like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Well, okay. I'm going to say thank you for the last time.
I told you, I blocked out 2 hours for you, so
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince Erick.
All right. I'll accept it.
Well, have a good morning or a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. And if anybody needs anything, I'm at Minority Nomad everywhere, minoritynomad.com. You guys can find me, hit me up. I love hearing from you guys. And please let me know how you guys enjoyed this. If I said something that was off the mark, let me know. I absolutely love feedback and doing stuff like this. So please hit me up, Minority Nomad.
Great, thank you. Bye.